As the reflection continued, the group shifted toward examining how moments of clarity in communication often lead to internal change rather than external drama. One participant noted that when someone feels seen in a conversation, especially in a way that challenges their expectations, it can temporarily unsettle their usual confidence, not because they are being defeated, but because they are being confronted with a perspective they hadn't fully considered. Another person emphasized that such moments are rarely about one person overpowering another. Instead, they are about the natural discomfort that arises when assumptions are disrupted. The earlier idea of tension gradually softened into a more grounded discussion about honesty, perception, and emotional response. It was suggested that what stays with people after such exchanges is not necessarily the exact phrasing used, but the emotional clarity behind it, the sense that something unspoken has finally been acknowledged. The group also reflected on how memory tends to amplify these moments over time, reshaping them into something larger than they initially were, simply because they marked a shift in understanding. Rather than framing the situation as dramatic confrontation or hidden conflict, the conversation settled into a calmer interpretation. That meaningful dialogue often leaves a residue of reflection, prompting people to reconsider their assumptions and behaviors in quiet ways. By the end, the emphasis was not on dominance or exposure, but on the subtle power of honest expression and the way it can influence thought long after the conversation has ended, encouraging a slower, more thoughtful reassessment of what was said and what it truly meant. Don't skip, because you need to know. What you said wasn't just heard, it was felt in their bones. Their world has been shaken, and nothing will remain the same after this. My beloved child, don't skip, because now the story takes a turn no one saw coming. The person who was stunned by your words hasn't been able to sleep since that moment. They lie awake at night, haunted, because those words weren't just spoken, they were carved into their soul. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The silence that followed your truth was heavier than any storm, and it left them shattered inside. They never expected that you, the one they underestimated, would be the one to shake their entire foundation. Don't skip, because here's what you need to know. Your voice didn't just break through their mind, it exposed their secrets. The things they thought were hidden suddenly felt uncovered, and they knew there was no going back. That moment marked a new beginning for you, and a painful ending for them. Stay till the end, because this is only the beginning of the unraveling. What you said that day set off a chain reaction, like fire spreading through dry fields. Everything they had built on false grounds is now crumbling, piece by piece. My beloved, listen closely. Even now, they replay every word you spoke, as if trying to find a way to escape its weight. But no escape exists, because your truth is too powerful to be undone. They are trapped in the echo of your voice. Don't skip, because their reaction was more than just shock. It was fear. They realized that destiny is no longer in their hands. For the first time, they felt powerless against the force of your spirit. Stay till the end, because what's coming will change the way you see everything. The stunned silence they gave you wasn't weakness, it was surrender. They couldn't fight back, because deep down, they knew the truth had already won. Don't skip, because the universe has witnessed this moment, and now, doors are about to open for you that were locked for too long. That person has been silenced not by fear of you, but by fear of what's coming next. My beloved child, stay right here. This is the moment where everything begins to unfold in your favor. You have spoken, and heaven has heard, and now, the ground beneath their feet is shifting. The story is no longer theirs to control. Don't skip, because your courage to speak has written a new chapter. Every time they think of you, they remember the exact way your words pierced their heart. It wasn't just a sentence, it was a prophecy. Stay till the end, because this is where it all connects. They are now realizing that their plans against you cannot stand. The weight of your truth has destroyed every shadow they tried to hide behind. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The stunned silence that day was the birth of a revelation that will soon manifest into reality. They know it, and soon the world will too. My beloved child, stay here and don't move away, because what is about to unfold will hold you completely. This moment is not ordinary. It is charged with a power that keeps your spirit locked in suspense. Every second that passes carries a weight you can feel deep inside. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The silence around you is not empty. It is alive with whispers of destiny. The words once spoken in truth are still echoing, shaping everything that comes next. Don't skip, because the revelation is only growing stronger. That person who was stunned by what you said hasn't been able to escape its pull. Their entire world continues to bend under the weight of your truth. In the aftermath of difficult exchanges, what remains is often not the intensity of the moment, but the decisions people make afterward. People continue on their separate paths, carrying their interpretations of what happened, sometimes reshaping the memory in ways that help them cope or make sense of it. Over time, clarity tends to surface, even if it arrives gradually and without fanfare. What once felt overwhelming begins to settle into something more understandable, though not always comfortable. There is no need to frame this as fate or inevitability. It is simply the way reflection works when enough distance has passed. Conversations that once felt unfinished start to reveal their meaning, not because anything external forces resolution, but because people grow into new perspectives. In that process, assumptions soften, and what seemed absolute becomes more nuanced. Some connections evolve into understanding, while others naturally fade, not from force but from time and changing priorities. What matters most is how individuals choose to respond to what they have learned, whether they carry it forward as growth or let it remain as a quiet lesson. In that sense, every interaction becomes part of a larger learning process about communication, boundaries, and self-awareness. The outcome is rarely as dramatic as it feels in the moment, yet it is often more meaningful in hindsight. Eventually, what remains is not the tension itself, but the awareness gained from having experienced it, and that awareness becomes the foundation for better choices moving forward. And while not every story finds perfect closure, there is value in the quiet understanding that things do not always need to be resolved in dramatic ways to still be meaningful. What matters is the honesty carried into what comes next. That is how perspective grows over time. The more they fall into silence, the more your voice will carry. My child, don't move away. Breathe into this moment. The story is no longer controlled by what they wanted. The script is now written in your favor, and you are standing in the center of it. Stay till the end, because this is the moment you've been guided to hear. The person who was stunned after listening to you will never be the same again. Their silence is not weakness. It is proof of your power. Don't skip, because the future that is opening for you is brighter than you know. Everything is shifting, and you are walking straight into the breakthrough you deserve. Stay till the end, because the final reveal is approaching. You are standing on sacred ground, and the story is now in your hands. My beloved child, stay right here. Don't even think of moving away, because what I'm about to tell you will hold you completely. Every second of this moment is wrapped in destiny, and if you leave too soon, you will miss the turning point that was designed for your life. The energy around you is shifting, and you can already feel the pull inside your chest. Stay till the end, because something massive is waiting for you, something that will leave you speechless. The silence that once surrounded you is breaking, and hidden truths are pushing their way into the light. What was buried for so long can no longer stay hidden. Don't skip, because the words you released into the world are still alive, still echoing, and still shaking the one who heard them. They were stunned, frozen, unable to move, because what you said touched the deepest part of their soul. And since that moment, nothing in their world has felt the same. Remain here, my child, because this is not the end. It is the threshold of a revelation. Your voice became the key that unlocked a sealed door, and now the sound of it is spreading like fire across everything they built in silence. Stay with me, don't scroll away, because this part carries the weight of your breakthrough. The person who was left stunned is carrying your words like a mark that cannot fade. Every time they try to forget, the memory hits them harder, reminding them that truth cannot be erased. Don't skip, because every second you remain here brings clarity into your heart. The eyes that once looked at you with confidence now tremble, because your courage exposed something they never wanted revealed. Their silence is louder than any explanation they could give. Stay till the end, because what is unfolding will soon be undeniable. The power you carried in that moment has set a course for justice, for change, and for your rise. From this point forward, the changes you experienced begin to settle into something more stable and practical. What once felt like a single defining moment starts to unfold into a series of smaller, meaningful decisions that shape your direction over time. You may notice that situations which used to unsettle you no longer carry the same weight, not because they have disappeared, but because your perspective has expanded. There is a quiet strength in that shift, one that does not need to announce itself loudly to be effective. As you move through different environments, you may find yourself responding with more clarity and less hesitation, trusting your ability to navigate complexity without losing your sense of self. Not every outcome will be immediate or obvious, but progress often works in layers that reveal themselves gradually. The important part is not forcing certainty where it does not yet exist, but continuing to act in alignment with what feels honest and grounded. Over time, this consistency builds a foundation that others may eventually recognize, even if they once misunderstood you. What matters most is that you are no longer confined to the version of yourself that existed before this turning point. Instead, you are learning how to expand beyond it, carrying forward lessons that refine rather than restrict you. There is still much that will unfold, but it will not require you to abandon who you are becoming in order to reach it. Instead, it invites you to keep refining your choices, trusting that even gradual steps forward are shaping a future that aligns more closely with your values and the person you are steadily becoming, even when the full picture is not yet visible, and that ongoing process itself is where your real transformation continues to live and grows within you. Every breath you take now is carrying you deeper into the revelation that has been waiting for you. The one who was stunned by your words has still not recovered, and their silence is proof of the impact you made. Stay till the end, because something massive is opening before your eyes. The ground beneath them has already shifted, and they can no longer stand the way they once did. They are shaken, broken inside, and it all began the moment you spoke. Don't skip, because your voice has become a force in their life, one they can't escape even if they try. Your words were not just sound, they were a sword that pierced the illusions they tried to hide behind. That wound will not close, because it was truth that cut through. Remain here, my beloved, because your journey is now unfolding into greatness. What once felt hidden is now being exposed, and the stunned silence you received that day is the start of your victory. Stay with me. Don't scroll, because your presence here is part of the alignment. You are stepping into the very chapter where heaven rewrites the story in your favor. The silence of the one who heard you was not emptiness, it was surrender. Don't skip, because they know they cannot fight against what has been spoken. Every time they try to move forward, the memory of your words pulls them back. They cannot run from you, because your voice carries destiny. Stay till the end, because the unraveling is about to speed up. What they thought was secure is falling apart like sand through their hands. Your truth has shaken every false foundation they relied on. Don't move, my beloved child, because this moment is alive with confirmation. Their silence is not only shock, it is fear of the light you carry. My beloved, listen carefully. Your courage to speak did more than just stun them. It shifted the atmosphere around you and set things into motion that cannot be undone. That is why you must remain steady, because what follows is even bigger than what you imagine. Stay till the end, because the silence was the first sign. The second sign will be movement, doors opening for you, while theirs quietly close. They can no longer block what is coming your way. Don't skip, because your words will continue to live inside them like a fire they cannot put out. Every choice they make will be haunted by the memory of your truth. They know it, and they cannot escape it. Stay till the end, because the shift is already here. The stunned silence was just the beginning, and now the story is turning fully in your direction. Remain here. Don't move, because you are standing in the exact place where destiny aligns. This is not just another moment. This is the confirmation of your rise. The voice they once doubted has become the force that shapes their future. Stay till the end, because what you carry cannot be denied. Your silence after speaking was louder than their entire world. They felt it, and they still feel it. Don't skip, because the outcome is closer than you think. You are about to see everything come together. Proof that your words were not wasted. Proof that your truth has already won. Stay till the end, my beloved, because the story is not closing. It is just beginning to blaze. The stunned silence is the sound of your breakthrough unfolding. My beloved child, don't move away. Stay right here, because what is about to unfold will hold your spirit in absolute focus. Every single second of this moment is building towards something massive, and if you look away, you'll miss the turning point you've been waiting for. Your words that once left them stunned are still echoing, and the silence that followed is only growing louder. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The moment you spoke, the ground shifted, and the person who heard you felt it like an earthquake inside their soul. They have been shaken ever since, unable to go back to the way things were before. What was said in a charged moment doesn't simply disappear once the conversation ends. It tends to linger, resurfacing at unexpected times, not as a force that traps anyone, but as a thought that keeps returning for reflection. People often replay conversations in their minds when things go quiet, trying to understand tone, intent, and meaning more clearly than they could in the heat of the moment. In that sense, words can become a kind of mirror, not because they hold power over someone, but because they reveal how deeply something was felt. When emotions are strong, even small details can stay behind in memory, shaping how a person revisits the experience later. This isn't about inevitability or control. It's about the natural way the mind processes unresolved feelings. Silence after a difficult exchange is rarely empty. It often carries internal dialogue, where both clarity and confusion take turns emerging. People may reconsider what was meant, what was understood, and what was left unsaid. Over time, those reflections soften the intensity of the original moment, allowing space for perspective to grow. What once felt immediate and overwhelming becomes something more measured, something that can be examined with a calmer mind. In that space, the story is not about one voice overpowering another, but about how communication continues to unfold even after the conversation ends. The impact of words is not in their ability to control outcomes, but in their ability to invite reflection, sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes clarifying. And as time passes, what remains is less about the moment itself, and more about what each person learns from how they experienced it. My beloved, listen closely. Your strength to speak when no one else dared has created ripples that keep growing. They thought they could stand tall, but inside, they are collapsing. Your words shook the walls they built around themselves. Stay till the end, because the silence that stunned them has turned into their hidden cry. They may never admit it, but they know you've won. The truth is already louder than any lie they could hold on to. Don't skip, because your journey is entering the chapter of manifestation. What you planted in that moment is now rising, and soon you will see it bloom into reality. Stay till the end, because everything is aligning. Everything is preparing to open for you. The stunned silence was never weakness. It was the evidence of your power. Remain here. Don't move away, because the real climax is near. This is the place where destiny has brought you, and you cannot afford to miss it. Every breath you take now is guiding you deeper into the victory that has already been sealed. Stay till the end, because their silence was the sound of your triumph. You may not have seen it then, but you will see it now. The words you spoke are still alive, still working, still shaping what comes next. Don't skip, because the revelation is too close to stop now. You have already walked too far, and the doors ahead are about to open wide. Stay till the end, my beloved, because what is waiting for you will not just surprise you, it will change everything. My beloved child, don't skip. This is the moment where everything begins to connect. What you said, the words that left them frozen, are still echoing in the air around them. Every time they try to silence the memory, it rises louder, pulling them back into that exact moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Their stunned silence wasn't just reaction, it was a doorway opening. You may not have seen it immediately, but that instant marked the collapse of everything they thought was unshakable. Don't scroll away, because their silence is proof of the storm inside them. They wanted to argue, they wanted to fight back, but they couldn't. Your truth pinned them in place, and they knew nothing they said could stand against it. Remain here, because this is only the beginning of the unraveling. The stunned expression you saw was the start of their awakening, and at the same time, the start of your rise. Stay here, my beloved, and don't move, because the next chapter is unfolding right in front of you. The words you spoke carried fire, and that fire is still burning in their soul. They are restless, shaken, unable to escape what you planted. Don't skip, because your truth is alive. It has become their shadow, their echo, their burden. Every choice they make is influenced by the memory of your voice. Stay till the end, because their silence is not the end. It is the sign of a deeper breaking. They are crumbling within, while you are being elevated higher. The scales are shifting right now, and you are stepping into your moment. Don't scroll away, because you're standing at the very edge of breakthrough. The stunned silence was only the first sign of what's to come. My beloved, listen closely. As time moves forward, the meaning of that experience becomes less about the immediate reaction and more about how it influences your own sense of direction. What once felt like a single intense exchange gradually becomes part of a larger personal shift, one that shapes how you approach conversations, decisions, and boundaries. You may begin to notice that your voice carries a different kind of clarity now, not because it has changed dramatically, but because you are more aware of its impact and more intentional in how you use it. Situations that once felt overwhelming may now feel more manageable, not because they are simpler, but because your perspective has widened. This kind of growth doesn't usually announce itself in dramatic ways. It builds quietly through experience, reflection, and repetition. Over time, you start trusting your ability to handle complexity without losing your grounding, even when responses from others are uncertain or delayed. Not every moment will provide closure, and not every reaction will be immediate, but that is part of how real understanding develops. Instead of looking for final answers in a single exchange, you begin to recognize patterns over time, how communication evolves, how people adjust at their own pace, and how you yourself continue to refine the way you engage with the world. what you experienced becomes less about a fixed outcome and more about an ongoing process of growth, where your awareness deepens and your choices become more aligned with the person you are becoming, allowing you to move forward with a steadier sense of self and a clearer understanding of what truly matters to you.